What's up, traders? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Sunday night, futures absolutely collapsed in the S&P 500. We opened down big, sold off in the morning, only to close the day with the NASDAQ green and the S&P 500 mostly unchanged. What does this mean? And what does it mean for VIX and volatility? I'm going to tell you right now. So, let's dig in. All right, everybody. So as I stated, overnight, futures got absolutely wrecked. Then we came in, opened down big. Here, I'll show you like on the one day what the range looked like. We opened down real big, got all the way down to 48.30, rallied in a very short period up to 52.50 before closing the day around 5,050, smack in the middle of the high and the low of the day. So what does this mean for us? Well, taking a look at this candle, talking to Alicia, our candle and charting expert, she's looking and saying that's a high wave doji. And, you know, we saw markets really turn around and, you know, maybe sets up for a little bit of a snap rally. Q's pretty similar, but actually closed the day green. They actually had a better day than the S&P, first time in a while. And what's more, it had a good day with Apple down 4%. That is, you know, potentially bullish for the NASDAQ 100. How high could they get? You know, maybe we try and close the gap from the third. All right, if we really get ahead of steam, maybe closing the gap from the second. Personally, I would say more. We've got a shot somewhere in here, 450, maybe reaching the top of the market at 440 that we saw on the 4th. But I do think that Tuesday is going to be a pretty good day for the market. And VIX and volatility generally agree with me. You're going, Mark, what do you mean? VIX closed up on Monday. Yes, it did. But look where it got. Look how low it got and kind of look where it ended. It did end up. VIX futures, though, very different story. All right. If you look at where VIX futures closed today on Friday versus Monday, the April future was up, was about flat. See, it was 32.55 on Friday. The May future 28.55. Pretty flat in April, but the May future was down. That's why you saw things like UVXY and VXX and UVIX down while SVIX was up. We actually saw the futures move in the direction of lowering volatility. So what am I looking for to really jump in? I will tell you on Monday morning, on the lows, I was trying to buy stuff. I bought some SPY, some Q exposure, things along those lines. I had, you know, like I said, it wasn't like a main course type of buying, but it was an appetizer. It was something, you know, maybe some crab rangoon or a bloomin' onion, maybe a nice, you know, a nice bruschetta, something along those lines. That you know, something to really kind of give me some filling here of long exposure for the first time in, you know, over a week. And so I think we're due for a little snapback. What am I looking for that, though? We're looking at big money flow. There are a few names. I'm going to talk about these names as we progress, but there are a few names out there that I'm watching really closely. Couple that I can highlight for you. I'm watching JP Morgan. You know, had a nice reversal on Monday. I'm looking to see if we get some bullish paper out of JP Morgan. Similarly, Goldman Sachs. So there's one group I'm watching. And notice neither of them had a ton of flow. The second one I'm watching is SMH. This is going to be NVIDIA, AMD, all those chips. And I'm looking for call buying there. And we did start to see some of that on Monday. We did. You can actually see the order flow, the orders in here. These are all mostly call buys, and then somebody closing some long puts or some long puts for a win. So SMH starting to see some bull paper. So there's another one. Real briefly, I'm looking at J&J, P&G, and I'm also watching Amazon. So those are kind of the most of the a chunk of the names on my list. I'm looking for some real bullishness out of these names for, looking for the market to go up. That, on Thursday and Friday, the market took a lot of money out of the market through hedges, didn't put them back into hedges. That money has to go somewhere. It's about $25 billion. And those are some of the names that I'm looking for. All right, folks. If you're not on our mailing list, I'm going live until this whole mess is over with. Until this mess calms down, me or someone from my team is going to be live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central. If you're not on our mail list, you need to go optionpit.com and get yourself registered so that you can attend live every single day with me, with Andrew, with Leisha, Frank, and Hans. So if you're not registered, get registered. If you are on our mailing list, make sure you keep an eye out for that invite. It is coming your way. All right, everybody. You're watching me on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, ask me a question. I want to answer it. All right, folks. I'm Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a great, great trading week.